This video is sponsored by LDPlayer. Their new version 4.062 is now available, featuring greatly improved RAM usage optimization. If you're interested, there's a download link in the description below. Yo guys, it's Ander back with another patch note update overview featuring the Microlayer Medley Event Rerun. Today we'll go in to cover everything about this update, from gameplay changes to ship reviews. Let's get into it. As with every Azur Lane event, there are some limited time skins that are available for purchase. Continuing on with the Eagle Union's line of Bunny Girl skins, we have two new ones for the two new ships, being Ingraham and Nautilus, as well as a couple of other Bunny Girl skins for these lovely ladies over here, as well as the old skins from the first event. They're back for a limited time. There's also a limited time dorm set available called Manjuu Sports Meet. If you're around for the original run like me, you may already have it. If not, don't forget to go and pick it up before the event ends. During this event, there are also some new gear skins that are available for purchase. Like always, you can purchase them either through the event shop for 2,000 event currency over here, or through the general shop for 7,000 gold. There is also a new lucky bag, which, as you may expect, is called the Microlayer Medley Lucky Box, so you can go and purchase that if you'd like to. And just like every other event, as you accumulate event points, you'll also receive some rewards in this tab over here. This time the prize at 10,000 points is going to be the event submarine Bluegill, so make sure that you get her before the event ends by collecting 10,000 points. Now on to the Microlayer Medley Event Shop Guide. For this event shop, if you aren't planning on farming B3, D3, or the SP stage and haven't gotten her from the gacha yet, definitely be sure to pick up at least one copy of Bremerton over here. She's a top tier heavy cruiser and is the best ship of this event. I would strongly suggest getting at least one of her one way or another before the event ends. You can also farm B2 or D2 for Casablanca over here, or alternatively, pick her up from the event shop for 2,000 event points. The TBM Avenger over here is a very strong torpedo bomber, and I would definitely pick that up right away. And finally, the Catalina over here is Cooper's signature auxiliary item, so I would pick at least one of them up if you don't have it yet, just in case for the future. For the rest of the items here, it's the usual recommendations. Be sure to pick up your normal and rainbow PR blueprints, as they save a ton of time on the ever so time consuming PR grind. The purple general parts over here are you can never have too many of them, so it's always nice. And you can always buy more oil and gold if you're running low. Now onto how to farm Microlayer Medley. As always, I would first recommend finishing up D3 as fast as possible to go and unlock the SP stage over here. You can complete this every single day to go and get a very nice 800 event currency, as well as the chance to go and get Bremerton. After this, since there aren't really any good gears to go and farm on this event, you can either farm B2 or D2 to go and get the chance to go and get Casablanca, or you could go and spend the rest of your time on B3 or D3 to go and farm for Bremerton. In addition, D3 also drops this very okay oxygen submarine torpedo if you are in need of them, but keep in mind that you will be replacing this with better gold submarine torpedoes later on, such as all the German homing torpedoes. Now onto the ship review section of the video. We first have our new super rare ship being Ingraham from the L&M Sumner class. She is a brand new super rare Eagle Union destroyer, and just like her sister L&M Sumner, Ingraham has some all-around fantastic stats with high HP, firepower, anti-air, ASW, and reload. She also has the highest accuracy out of all destroyers, which is now a three-way tie between Kitakaze, her sister L&M Sumner, and herself. Onto Ingraham's skills. Ingraham's first skill summons a support robot 3 seconds after the battle starts and every 20 seconds after that lasts for 10 seconds. This robot does 3 things while on the battlefield. First of all, it fires a special barrage and also spawns 2 shields that can each block up to 10 enemy shells. The second thing that it does is that it targets the Vanguard ship with the lowest percent of HP left and heals said ship for 0.5% of its max HP 3 times over 10 seconds. Finally, the last thing that the support robot does is that it increases your fleet's anti-air stat by 15% while it's deployed. Overall, this is a fantastic skill that will definitely help your Vanguard survive. Now for Ingraham's blue skill, being Combat Mechanic, the English server seems to have had a mistranslation, but it should read that her anti-air will go and be increased by 50% of her torpedo stat. In addition, she also decreases the burn damage that she takes by 15% and heals herself for 1% of her max HP every 15 seconds in combat. Overall, Ingraham is definitely a strong addition to the Eagle Union Vanguard. She has strong stats and pretty good skills that can drastically increase the survivability of your Vanguard as well as herself. Onto the fan favorite of this event, we have our exchange shop / map drop reward Bremerton, a heavy cruiser. If you didn't know by now, Bremerton is one of the top heavy cruisers in the game right now because she overall has great stats in every category. Particularly, she has the 4th highest anti-air out of all heavy cruisers, as well as great skills. Her first skill, being Blazing Burst Wings, grants her a 30% chance to increase her main gun damage by 30% for 3 seconds with a 5-second cooldown, and there is also a 70% chance to fire a special HE barrage with a 10-second cooldown whenever she fires her main guns. At first, you may think that those are somewhat low percentages, but keep in mind that this happens every single time that she fires her main guns, so the skill procs fairly often in battle. For her blue skill, being one for the team, she can become a great tank if she is placed in the frontmost position, where Bremerton will take 20% less damage for the first 30 seconds in every battle. Alternatively, if she is placed in a different position, she will instead receive a 25% anti-air boost until the end of battle. Overall, Bremerton is a ship that you need to get before the event ends, as she is great for all content that Azur Lane has to offer. She deals great damage, she can tank a lot, and she's got 2 very well designed riggings. That's all. Next up we have Intrepid, another Essex class carrier. As expected of the Essex class, Intrepid has very good stats overall. For her skills, Intrepid's first skill, being Soaring Silver Wings, launches a special SP2C Helldiver barrage whenever she finishes loading an airstrike that inflicts armor break to any battleships, battlecruisers, or aviation battleships hit by it. For Intrepid's yellow skill, Formation Shift, on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th battle of every sortie, she gets a 15% aviation increase. Alternatively, on the 2nd, 4th, and 6th battles, she instead decreases her own damage taken by 12%. Finally, for Intrepid's blue skill, the Fearless Fighting Eye, when her health drops below 20%, she takes no burn damage for 30 seconds, and also decreases the amount of every other type of damage taken by 25% for 20 seconds. In conclusion, Intrepid is more defense-oriented than her other sisters, and is slightly weaker than, say, Essex and Ticonderoga. However, she is still fairly strong nonetheless, and is still a pretty solid carrier. For our last SR ship at the event, we have Reno, a light cruiser. Her gloves kind of make her look like Iron Man, and for her stats, she is relatively average or even weak in some cases. However, she has 2 categories where she excels at, the first being her anti-air. She has the 2nd highest anti-air right after San Diego Retrofit, and for some reason she has the highest ASW stat out of all light cruisers. However, neither of these stats are too impactful. Well, let's move on to her skills now. Her first skill, being Vigilant Supporter, increases her main gun crit rate by 35% if there's a carrier or light carrier in the same fleet as her. In addition, for every carrier or light carrier in the same fleet as her, she then deals 10% more damage to enemy destroyers and light cruisers, up to a max of 3 stacks. And finally, for the first 4 battles of each sortie, Reno decreases the damage taken of all light carriers and carriers as well as herself by 10%. Jesus Christ, that is one long skill. For Reno's second skill, Reno Reactor, she increases her own anti-air and firepower by 15%. In addition, every second time a ship in the main fleet takes damage, Reno then increases her own anti-air and firepower by 6% with a max of 2 stacks. Finally, for Reno's third skill, when she has a destroyer gun equipped in her main gun slot, she increases her main gun efficiency by 10% and activates her barrage once every 10 times her main gun is fired. Overall, Reno has very strong anti-air, but is relatively fragile and might die really fast in battle. On to our elite ships of the event. First of all, we have our new lolly with a gun, being Nautilus. She's actually a pretty solid purple submarine, so she's a great substitute for anyone still waiting to go get some more super rare submarines. For Nautilus's first skill, at the start of battle, she moves forward a set distance, fires a special torpedo barrage, and briefly resurfaces. She then submerges once again and fires a stronger version of this torpedo barrage, and finally, while she resurfaces as part of the skill's effect, she takes 60% less damage. For Nautilus's second skill, when an enemy hits Nautilus, she increases that enemy's damage taken by 8% for 3 seconds. In addition, if that enemy is a destroyer, she additionally reduces their speed by 20% for 5 seconds. Next up, we have a very cute destroyer being Cooper. She's very interesting as she is a destroyer centered around destroying submarines. For her stats, she has pretty average ones for a purple destroyer, and for her skills, her first skill launches a special seaplane airstrike every 20 seconds. This increases her own firepower by 15%, reveals the location of all enemy submarines on the screen for 10 seconds, and increases the damage that they take for 10 seconds. In addition, if she's equipped with her special auxiliary item that you could buy in the event shop, being the PPY-5A Catalina, when her HP is under 40%, she then launches a special seaplane airstrike once per battle. So far, there really haven't been any submarine heavy game modes or chapters, but if there ever are, Cooper would be great for that. Until then, she's just waiting for her moment to shine. Now for our point accumulation reward, we have an elite rarity submarine named Bluegill. Honestly, I would just use Nautilus over Bluegill if it came down to it, but anyway, for Bluegill skills, her first skill being Blue Hunter, she increases the damage that she does against enemy destroyers and light cruisers by 15%, and her second skill grants her 40 more oxygen. Fantastic. Next up we have Marblehead, a light cruiser. She's also known as the 177013 girl, aka the Metamorphosis girl, aka if you don't know what I'm saying, then that's actually a good thing. I would keep a copy of her just because of this lovely free skin that we got for her, but other than that, she's exactly what you would expect from a blue rarity ship. Her skill grants her a 60% chance to increase her reload by 40% for 10 seconds, and that's about all. Finally, our last ship to cover is going to be none other than our light carrier, Casablanca. She was revolutionary for her time, as one of her skills were absolutely insane. However, with the release of Independence Retrofit, who literally stole this skill right here, not to mention also having better stats than Casablanca, sadly Casablanca has been power crept. This skill in question, of course, is her skill right here, being Supporting Wings. This granted a 12% aviation and 10% reload boost to all carriers and light carriers in the same fleet as her, while also decreasing the loading time of her first airstrike by 25%. It doesn't stop there, however. She also increases the reload and aviation of all carriers and light carriers that are not in the same fleet as her, and she also has a pretty good red skill as well, that grants her a 15% chance to make the next airstrike immediately available whenever she launches an airstrike. If Casablanca ever got a retrofit, she would be a powerhouse. However, her rarity and consequently her stats are holding her back. Because right now, Independence Retrofit is just a better version of Casablanca at this moment. With those ship reviews finished, that will bring an end to this Azur Lane Microlayer Medley Rerun event guide. As always, if you found this information helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribing, it really helps out a lot. Don't forget to press that notification bell for my future uploads as well. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions that need to be answered, and I'll try my best to reply. If you're interested, you can always join my Discord server in the description below if you need advice or just want a place to relax. That's all for this video, so I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!